Ready? Fight! Fatality! Oh, you caught me again with the dolls. What is with a 50-year-old man with dolls? Anyway, today, guys, we're talking about cold calling and what it is, why cold calling is best. Why the best lead generation is actually cold calling. Hi, guys, I'm Jay Burnham with therealjayburnham.com. And yesterday I talked to you about buying leads, and buying leads is foolish and a waste of time and a waste of money, and why that is so. But I didn't talk to you guys about actually generating leads, and there's a lot of ways to generate leads. One of the best ways to generate leads is with business networking groups like BNI or Sarasnet or local business network or the different meetup groups that are in the town. You can go to meetup.com and find a bunch of groups. And I don't care what group you go to, any group you go to is a networking group. And that's what you should do. Go in and find something that you have a passion about. Maybe it's pottery making, or in my town we have, and I know they've got a bunch of these stores around, but there's these stores where you can go in and they call it painting with a twist. You can go in and drink wine and paint pictures, and you get to meet a bunch of other people and couples and women or men or whatever. That's great. A Bible study is a great networking group. Any group where there's two or more people is a networking group, and you should be involved in most of or all of them, especially if they're free. Go there. The only thing you're wasting is your time. And that's not even a waste either if you know how to network properly, right? Even if you don't know how to, business will come to you just because you're building up a relationship. Okay, that's one way to generate leads. The other is to buy ads on Facebook or Google, write an ad on Craigslist, but don't buy leads. It's a waste of time. But how would you go and actually generate leads for yourself? Like I said, there's the networking. But quite honestly, one of the most successful methods of lead generation is cold calling. It's been effective for years and decades and decades and decades. And I say, if you're going to be in business, you got to be willing to go out there and knock on doors. Now, if you're running a retail business, that's a little bit different, but not really, because you can hire somebody, or when the store's not open, go and hand out flyers, knock on doors, leave a flyer on people's doors that's around in the city that you're in. Again, networking groups, very effective for any kind of real estate stores. In my networking groups, sorry, excuse me. In my networking groups, we have car salesmen, real estate agents, the whole gamut is represented. But there's never, ever, ever been a time when cold calling wasn't effective. Yes, maybe you don't want to do it, and yes, it's tedious, and you're going to have to get a lot of no's, and you got to have to face rejection. And I know some of you guys might be snowflakes, and in the world of participation trophies, have never heard the word no before. But in the world of business, the word no is a commonality. Actually, getting yes is the exception to the rule. That's the secret to life here in business. Yes is actually the exception. And the better you get at getting yeses, the better business person you'll do. But the only way you're going to get good at being good at getting yeses is by getting a lot, and a lot of no's first. So let's talk about cold calling. What is cold calling? Cold calling is basically going up and trying to get a lead or establish a lead for somebody that is not wanted or expected or asked for by your potential client or customer. That is a cold calling lead. Okay, that really is. You walk up and somebody gives you a call, says, "Hi, we're selling the next whiz bang thingamajibby. Would you like to buy 10?" That's a cold calling. It could be knocking on the door, it could be calling on the phone. In today's days, it's sending a DM via Snapchat or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Bluter or Blobber or whatever the heck other social networking groups that you want to participate in. And that's absolutely okay. That's fine. And that's a valid way to do that. All right. Those are actually cold calling leads. And that's okay. Cold calling comes in various many forms these days. But when you go for an unsolicited sale from somebody, that's cold calling, no matter what method you're using. So, just to give you a little example, I have this friend, is a great friend of mine. I've known him for a couple years now, and his name is JD Small. And he owns an awesome little photography studio here in the Lansing area. And this guy's gone across the country doing photographs, takes beautiful photographs. He's done a lot of people that I personally know about headshots and their buildings and their cars, and done great, great work. And the guy's been in business in the photography business now for I think like 40 years, like 4 decades since I've been alive. He's been in the photography profession as a professional photographer. But he was telling me when he was first getting started, the way he got his clients was he would walk up to a business. Hello, I'm JD Small. I would like to take your picture. And that's how he would get in touch with these. He got a lot of no's, but he eventually got a lot of yeses too. I got another friend of mine who's a financial advisor. His name's Ben Eichler. Benjamin Eichler is a great guy. I've known him for about a year or so, and he and I have hung out on various occasions. We've networked thing. But he was telling me one day about his cold calling experience when he got into his financial advisory job. He would have to go out and knock on doors. He would literally had to make like 100 calls a day. And today, both of those gentlemen credit their success to cold calling. They built up such a reputation in their area, in their field, in this town, because they were willing to cold call, right? Yes, they did the networking thing, and that's great. That's one form of cold calling. It's actually more warm calling than cold calling, but it's definitely a form of cold calling, all right? But they went and they were willing to pick up the phone, dial the phone, or knock on doors. And that's how they built their business. And they, both of them today, credit their success to cold calling. So cold calling is a tried and true, proven method to get leads. Now, let me give you some little tutorial on how to do cold calling. And everybody's got an opinion on how to do cold calling. But based on what I have learned by talking to JD and Benjamin and several other of my business colleagues, I have come to a conclusion that there's 6 or 7 steps to good cold calling. And I'm going to go over, and I made a list. And so if I'm looking down, just realize I'm reading my notes, okay? All right. So the first step to cold calling is focused on the client. When you go to a client and you knock it on the door, focus on them. Don't worry about yourself. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be apprehensive. You're going to be like, I just don't want to do it. But you're going to have to take that, put it aside for a while, put it on a shelf, and just focus on your customer. Every time you knock on the door, every time you pick up the floor, you got to be focused on the customer and what value and what benefit you're going to be bringing to that person. Whether you get that close or not, you want to give that person some sort of idea that you made a difference in their life. You gave them a benefit, you added value to their life. Whether it's good advice or just a happy listening ear, you got to be willing to benefit them, and then it'll come on you. Secondly, when you do cold call, I'm not one of these guys that ascribe to scripts. I think they're cold. I think they're dead. I think they're foolish. They don't allow for originality or ingenuity or intuitiveness. I just don't think, and I don't personally believe in it, and nor would I have any of my salespeople ever use a script. The only time you use a script is when you're hiring these guys en masse that have no sales skills at all, and you're just hiring them at minimum wage and they're just cannon fodder. They come and they go like that, and there's a high turnover. Those are the people that use a sales script. Anybody else that uses a sales script are just fooling themselves. They don't have real salespeople. Then that's not the way to train a salesperson. That's my personal belief. That's my humble opinion. I can be wrong. If you find that that's not work for you, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. But anyway, step 2 is before you go and you focus on the customer, after you do that, plan your questions. What questions are you going to ask your customer? All right. But when you ask the customer questions, again, you got to think with rule number 1. Focus on that customer. Focus on the client. What's going to benefit them? You want to get the customer to start talking. You don't want it to be about you. You don't want to just spew out your sales riff. That's just not going to help you. You want to go and listen to what the customer says, and you want to ask questions that are going to let you know that it give you indication of what the customer needs and wants. Okay? And you want to be able to hear what the customer might have done in the previous with other people in your particular business. If you're a financial advisor, you might want to find out what did they like about other financial advisors, and what did they not like about other financial advisors. And that way you can find out. Maybe you find out that you and your customer are just not going to mesh, with your personalities. That's fine too. That happens, and it's going to happen quite frequently. But you know what? By being there and listening, you can say, you know what, this isn't going to work out between you and me, but I tell you what, I know somebody that can help you. Let me give you their name and their number. Write it down, or give them a business card, or send it to them in the email, and refer that person to them. And then say, hey, you need to talk to Joe Blow, and he's going to help you out. Okay? Step 3. Build relationships. I cannot stress this enough, folks. Again, don't rely on sales scripts. Sales scripts are foolish, and they're the indication of amateurs, and they're for amateurs. And if you need a sales script to first start out, okay, I can understand that. But you're going to have to eventually evolve away from the sales script. What you got to learn to do is build a relationship. Now, not all of us are great salespeople and can build relationships easy. Me personally, I have a hard time building relationships. I do. You guys might think I'm this happy-lucky, wow, he's in front of YouTube with millions of people that could potentially see him. Guess what? When it comes down to it, I'm a shy, insecure guy just like you. And it's okay, because I recognize that I am shy, and I am insecure, and that I am a little fragile, but I use that not as a weakness, but as my strength. Because every time I get to meet somebody, I get to meet somebody new. And I can't tell you how many times I've made friends by just being willing to build a relationship with somebody. And they know all my quirks and wackiness and whatevers. Okay? But anyway, step 4. Don't overwhelm your client. Don't go in there dressed to the nines with suit and tie and vest and 3-piece suit and bowler hat and twirling your fancy cane and all. No. Go be a human being. Go in there dressed like everybody does these days. No one really dresses up. Really, I mean, we do. There's a lot, lawyers and a few people like that who think they're important and they dress to be important. Let me dress. But our governor here in Michigan, he doesn't wear a suit and tie. He wears a button-up shirt, maybe a jacket, but it's not fancy or anything. But he wears no tie. You don't have to wear a suit and tie. If you want to, and that makes you feel good and gives you confidence, by all means, do that. All right? The days of the old school dressing up in a suit and tie are gone. Silicon Valley, they're in flip-flops and Birkenstocks and Wave Rider shorts, and their Rastafari hairdo, and they're making billion-dollar businesses. It's okay to dress like you want to dress, but that said, present your being present yourself as best as you can. Don't go there, in dirty clothes. I mean, just don't look like a bum. No one's going to take you seriously if you look like a bum. But dress what's going to make you feel confident and strong and powerful. And if that's a power suit, by all means, wear a power suit. But if it's jeans and a nice pair of shoes and a t-shirt that says America, like I have, do that. If that's what makes you feel comfortable, because that's going to give authenticity, and it's going to get realism, and it's going to let you be able to build a relationship. Okay, so don't worry about things. Just go there, build a relationship. Go and just build that relationship. Ask the questions that are going to elicit a response from your customer. Okay. Number 5, whatever you do, do not try to sell on the very first meeting. If this is a cold call, don't try to sell them. Don't. It's not going to work. They don't know you from sticks and stones. They don't know you from Adam. You got to build that relationship, and it's okay to walk away. But when you do, when you leave, ask them, hey, would it be okay if I call you in a couple of days? Can I send you an email? Can I send you more information? That's okay. Write their name and their phone number and their email address and send them stuff later on. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay to lose, folks. I just want to give you that permission. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to lose. It's okay to get a no. It's okay. The more of those you get, the more wins you're going to get. There's a book that I just got reminded of, and it says "Go for No." I haven't personally read it, but I've had several people that have read it, and it basically goes over this premise: go for the number of no's, because if you get 100 no's, you're going to get 1 or 2 yeses, and that 1 or 2 yeses is going to make that all worthwhile. So go for no. I haven't personally read that book, but I hear it's great, and that is on my reading list. So if you read it, let me know what you thought about it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about that book. Go for no. 6, I can't stress this enough. Number 6 is relax. Just relax. What's the worst they can do? Say no. Say I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay. You know how many girls have said no and said they don't want to talk to me anymore when I've asked them out? Yeah, a lot. It's okay. I'm still here. I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm running a business. It's okay for to have no, because you know what? I had that one special woman that said yes, and that made my life so much better. It's okay. No matter how much I got picked on in school, no matter how much I got beat up in school and at home, and so on and so forth, I had that one person say okay, say yes. And that's all that matters, folks. It comes down to that one. So just relax. It's okay. Go for no. It's all right. I'm giving you my permission. Now, that's six different uh that's 6 steps. But there's one more. There's one more. One thing you got to do when you're talking to them is you got to figure out when you're listening to them, what's the one thing that's going to get them to buy? What's the benefit that's going to make them go, yes, you're the salesperson for me. You're the representative for me. What is it going to get them to say yes? In my business, my moving company, quite honestly, sometimes it was really easy. This is just the fact that I answered the phone and the other mover companies didn't. Or it's the other fact that I was willing to go out and be on the jobs, or the that if something was going to go wrong, it was going to end with me. I'm the man. It's not going to be stuck in some bureaucratic red tape in some business, because the franchise or the company's so big and they've got all these gatekeepers. They knew that they weren't going to lose with me because they could come and trust me and contact me whenever they could. But what's going to be the benefit for them? And you got to list that through your questions and through your follow up. And one last bonus. And if you want the bonus step, all right. I wasn't going to give it to you, but you guys convinced me. You talked me into it. Follow up, people. The follow up is the secret to cold calling. Following up, even if they said no, follow up, because you know what? You leave there, their heads are thinking, the squirrels start running on that treadmill, and things start moving around. And if you call them back in 2-3 days, when it's still fresh in their mind, guess what? You just might get the sale. It's happened to me many, many, many times. It's okay to get that no, but you know what? Follow up. Follow up with that customer. It's okay. You knock on a door, write down the address, write down who you talked to when you after you've left the place. Write down what time day that they were in the that you talked to them and so on. Just keep a little bit of a note, right? I talked to Sherry at 1 p.m. when I knocked on her door at 6666123 Main Street. It's okay, guys. It's okay to keep track of that. If you could get their phone number, if you can get their email, great. Best yet. But follow up. Doesn't matter how you follow up. Letter, handwritten. And if you're going to do letter, do handwritten post letter. It's all right to type up the letter, but handwrite the address on the envelope. Don't type it up. That's lazy, and it shows that you don't care. And we get so much junk mail that's just typed up that it just goes in the wayside. People see that and they just throw it away. It doesn't even register that it might have been something important. They just, oh, junk. Okay, so, but if you write it, I guarantee they're going to pick it up. Oh, and now they've got the letter from you. But follow up by letter, follow up by email, follow up by social media if that's what you have to. Follow up by phone call. The more personal, the better. Make a YouTube video and send it to them in the email. A lot of emails now, you can send them a video, and they got most computers have speakers on them now. A lot of people are doing business on their phone and they can listen to it, they can see a video. It's okay. That's a real thanks for letting me talk with you. I really appreciate that. If you have any further questions, and you know what? And if it's addressed to them and you talk to them and you use their name, Sherry, it was really good that I could talk to you. And I'm really glad that we could have that moment. And I know you had this one question. I just wanted to follow up with that question and let you know the answer to that is XYZ. And if you really want to talk with me any further, no problem. Give me a call. My number is 555-1212. See how simple that was? It's a less than 1 minute YouTube video. And it's, boom, you email that off to them, they watch it, and it's great. But follow up. That's the secret. I wasn't going to give it to you. I wanted to do some kind of thing where you went to my website and I was going to get your email address and stuff. But anyway, there it is. It's that the eighth was your bonus step and for the tips and tricks for cold calling. So there you go. 8 steps for cold calling success. I hope this is you've learned something. I hope you got a little bit out of it. I know I personally do. I love you guys to death. I'm glad you come in and watching my videos. I'm glad you indulge me when I'm playing with my dolls. By the way, that's Doctor Strange, if you guys didn't know. And that's Iron Man. But anyway, guys, just feel free to subscribe to my channel. Oh, no, wrong side. I get that mixed up, Just right there. It's going to be a little circle with my ugly mug. Subscribe to the channel. Over here, there's going to be 2 videos. Go and watch them. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you have anything you want to say, leave me a comment below. Other than that, I know your time is precious, guys. You guys are important to me. God bless. Have a great day.